Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a small but honestly super powerful rule that could affect anyone involved in a Malaysian strata management tribunal. We're talking about Regulation 30, and yeah, it's all about making sure you get paid for your time. All right, let's paint a picture here. Imagine this. You get an official summons. You have to show up and testify at a tribunal hearing. Now, you have to be there, right? But that means taking a day off work, maybe paying for transport, all that stuff. It starts adding up. So the big question is, who foots the bill for your time and travel? Well, you'll be glad to know the law has a really clear answer for that. It's all laid out in the Strata Management, long name here, Strata Management Tribunal Regulations of 2015. And the specific part we're zeroing in on is Regulation 30. This little rule is basically designed to have your back in exactly this kind of situation. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to break down Regulation 30 step by step so you understand exactly what it says and, more importantly, what your rights are to compensation. So, first things first, who's actually responsible for paying you? Who's legally on the hook? Well, the law is super clear about this. The responsibility falls squarely on the applicant. And that's just the official term for the person or the party who wanted you to appear at the tribunal to begin with. And here's the actual text from the regulation. I want you to pay close attention to the wording here. It says, the person who applies for the summons shall pay. Now, in everyday language, shall might sound a bit formal, but in legal speak, that word is a big deal. It's not may pay or should pay. Shall means it's an absolute must. It's mandatory. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, so you're probably thinking, right, they have to pay me. But how much are we talking about? That's the logical next question, isn't it? Well, interestingly, Regulation 30 itself doesn't have the dollar amounts. Instead, it acts like a signpost pointing you to another part of the law called the First Schedule. And that's the document that lays out the exact amounts for your allowance and any travel costs. All right, so we've covered the who and the how much. But it doesn't stop there. The law is also super specific about the how and the when. You know, the actual process of getting that money into your hands. And this is where it gets really formal. You can't just get paid in cash or through a quick online bank transfer. Nope. The payment has to be made using one of these 5 specific methods. We're talking a money order, a postal order, a cashier order, a bank order, or a bank draft. It's all very official. I know. You're looking at that list and thinking, what is this, 1995? Right? In a world of instant online payments and e-wallets, why are we dealing with these kind of old school methods? Well, believe it or not, there's a really solid legal reason behind it. And here's the reason why. It's all about proof, a paper trail. Every single one of those methods creates an official, undeniable record that the money changed hands. It's physical proof that the payment was made correctly. This way, there's no question that the applicant has met their financial duty to you, the witness. Now, this next part is absolutely crucial. It's about the timing. This isn't a payment you have to chase down later. The law is crystal clear. The payment, in one of those fancy approved forms, has to be physically attached to the official summons. That's a document called Form 13 when it's handed to you. So think about that. You get the summons and the payment at the exact same time. No waiting, no excuses. So, as you can probably tell, this whole thing goes way beyond just administrative rules and a bit of cash. At its heart, this regulation is all about a much bigger idea, the principle of fairness. It's about making sure the justice system works for everyone. And just look at the difference this one little rule makes. On one side, with Regulation 30, things are fair. Witnesses are more likely to participate. But take it away, you're looking at a system that puts an unfair financial burden on regular people who are just trying to do the right thing. People might simply not be able to afford to show up. And when that happens, justice itself can be delayed, or worse, denied altogether. It's a huge deal. So what's the big takeaway here? It's pretty simple, really. Regulation 30 is there to make sure that doing your civic duty doesn't cost you money out of your own pocket. It's a shield that protects your rights, empowers you to participate, and ultimately helps the tribunal get all the facts it needs to make the right call. It kind of makes you think, doesn't it? What other small, almost hidden rules are out there, quietly working in the background to keep our legal system fair for everyone? It just proves that sometimes the smallest details can have the biggest impact.